networking and how to network today, because this is a little different than maybe 2 years ago. So we want to make sure that you are feeling confident and get some great tips on successful networking. Today, my guest is a wonderful friend of mine. Her name is Angela Robinson. I'm going to bring her up so you can meet Angela. Angela and I have been working together for the last 5-6 years now, maybe. Is it that long?
Yeah.
And Angela has been networking and super successful. There, let me get your name up there. There we go. So, Angela, thank you so much for joining us today. You are an amazing networker, like not just connecting with people, but you have amazing systems. And I really want to share with our audience some ideas and things that maybe they haven't thought of when it comes to networking. So before we get to know you, do you have like your top tip for networking?
Get over yourself.
Yes.
And actually network. Because sometimes people hold back. Maybe they might say that they're not an outgoing person, or maybe they're not a people person. They're an introvert. Sometimes I find when I ask more questions about why they feel like they're that way, it tends to not truly be because they're an introvert or not a people person. It's really that they're afraid of what might happen or what they might think. So get over yourself and just do it. It's probably my first one. Second one is follow through and have integrity. So if you say that you're going to meet up with someone and you share with them that you have the intention of meeting up with them, you have to actually do it.
I think that's so important. And we've talked about that because you set the time aside, no matter what your business is, you've set the time aside for that person. So yes, I agree. I think that is a super, it's just honoring them, right? And respecting their time just as much as your time. It's both important. Angela, tell us a little bit about your business, which I know really well.
Well, I get to teach women all around the world about long-lasting color technology and anti-aging skincare. And I also get to teach women how to work from home and how to make their own schedule and love what they do while they do it. I am an independent Senegence distributor, and we're most known for our lip sense. And then I also part-time am a ballet teacher, a pharmacy technician. I sew and I breed bulldogs and French bulldogs, and I also own a edibles cannabis brand. So I do.
You're a busy girl. You are the true entrepreneur, because you do a lot of things and a lot of different types of things. And it's important to always have new business and be out there and meeting new people and filling your funnel, right? No matter what your business is, we all want new customers, right? We all want not even just new customers, but new connections that can connect us to someone else. So what is your, how are you networking today? And tell us a little bit about what you do. What is your process?
So I probably rely first and foremost on networking organizations that I am a part of. I am coachable, and I took the advice of my Senna mommy and became a Polka Dot Powerhouse member. And so I try to meet, I have a personal goal to try and network and meet a minimum of 4 new dots a month. Sometimes I'm successful and sometimes I'm not. I definitely reach out to all of them. They don't always follow through and meeting up with me, which is why I mentioned to always follow through. But yeah, that's probably what I rely on first. And then asking for a lot of referrals from my customers and finding ways to connect with these people and just flat out ask them. Just ask them. So they may not be a business person. They may just be a consumer of some kind. And I just ask, I have goals that I've set, and I'm trying to earn certifications, and I need essentially volunteers to help me do it. So I will just ask them, hey, would you be interested in helping me and tell them what it is, and then just go about loving the idea of meeting with someone. I don't know. I think it's because I just talk with them like they're already my girlfriend. That like comfort where they're like, sure, I'll help you, even though they've never really met me before. So then when I see them on Zoom, get to, connect with not just a business like-minded person, but also just a random stranger that ended up just wanting to buy your stuff, and now you're best friends talking about each other's husbands, and you only met a week ago.
I love, that's one of the things I really love about you, because you do have a way about you that you make people feel like your friend right off the bat. Business is business, but people don't buy from businesses, they buy from people. So by creating that sense of community and friendship right off the bat, I mean, you do. I mean, I've seen your channels and how you connect with people, and I love it because everyone feels like your best friend. And I think that's a really special gift that you have to really help strangers feel connected to you.
Yay, thank you.
All right, so in talking about networking, and one of the first things I love, and hey Joy, thanks for joining us this morning, is thinking about where are you going to network. You mentioned Polka Dot Powerhouse, and that's one that I belong to as well. There are a lot of networking organizations out there, and networking is really a way of meeting new people, not necessarily all your customers, but people can connect you to someone, or you can trade referrals and things like that. But it's a way to continue growing your business. And when you can't do it in person, online is a great way to do that. And I know some people are like, oh, I don't want to be on Zoom, I don't want to do this. But if you do it right, you can find a lot of success in connecting with people online. One of the first things I always tell people is, who is your ideal client? Don't you think that's really important to know that right off the bat?
Yeah, for sure. The more I have learned about how to identify my ideal client and or avatar, the more I've kind of realized she's me.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm confused, when I put it down on paper, and you think, what color hair does she have? I'm like, something fun. And so when I talk to anyone, I just kind of like exude my own personality onto them, and you can kind of tell right away if they're going to be attracted to that or not. If they're not necessarily like me, then try to learn more about them so you can find ways to find those types of connections, I feel like. But yeah, it definitely does help to know who your target market is, because when you are meeting, other people through networking, for like example, these polka dot meetings, I will hop into different chapters. That's a cool perk that you can do with organization is you can hop into chapters that aren't local to you now that we're on Zoom. Before you had to, drive. And that's annoying. Like, and I even make excuses like, I don't want to wake up early and drive there. But now I can literally roll out of bed and then just keep my pajama pants on, I'm in leggings, so it's not quite pajama pants. So being able to pop in, and then so my point was going to say is when you're popping into maybe a chapter where you haven't met anyone before, you can kind of sort of quickly identify, even in their like 5-second spiel, whether or not that's someone that you would be interested in either learning more about their business or learning more about them, or thinking she needs to know more about me. And if you kind of, I guess, know yourself and or know your avatar, you know who to ask to connect with. So
I think that's really key, because, and even when you're looking at groups to network in, I mean, if you're out looking to connect with more people who are interested in bulldogs, then that would be a different place than where you might go to find, someone in a ballet networking, right? I mean, they're different things. So you go in knowing what you're looking for, but in all honesty, it's you, right? It's like you said, your perfect person is you. They're going to have fun. They might have fun hair. They're going to, whatever it is. So I think that's really key in knowing who you're looking to connect with, why you want to connect with them, and then taking it, like, where are they hanging out, right? Searching different groups. You can look on Facebook and look at different groups. Where are you looking to find new networking opportunities?
But are you asking me that question?
Yeah.
Where am I looking? Everywhere.
Yeah.
At first, and this is true. I feel like it is important to first build in your own backyard. So, because I do find that when I really connect very well with someone who isn't, then eventually you become such good friends that you're like, I wish we lived next door to each other.
Yeah.
So but again, like you're kind of restricting yourself to a very small window. And that, like we were just in a training that is specifically maybe in network marketing, it's not truly a numbers game, but then it kind of is, because if you are restricting how many people you're like reaching out to in your own backyard, then that is so restrictive compared to all the Zooms that you can pop into across the world, or across, I was going to say across the country, or even now across the world. So yeah. I personally look anywhere. Where I target, where I pop into on chapters, just one that I haven't been before. Or actually I'm connecting with more women, they will mention like, oh, have you ever popped into just this chapter? I'm like, no, like, why would that be fun? And, oh, you would like it because of blah, blah, blah. And then you start, and you're like, oh, that sounds cool. So I take notes.
Isn't that awesome? It's like asking the people you're connecting with, where else, should I go? And because they feel so connected to you and they've built a relationship with you, they know who your market is and they're able to refer you. I love being able to do that for other people too, and saying, hey, have you ever thought about this group or this group or this group? Because once you connect and you know who their ideal client is, it's easier for you to be able to refer someone for them as well. I think that's really a good tip. All right. So what would you okay. You mentioned that you are a ballet teacher, you breed bulldogs, you sell Senegen's makeup, which is how we're connected. When you're networking, that's one of the things that we talk about is having three things that people think of you, right? When you're networking, so that they know how to refer someone to you too. Like these are three things I want you to know about me. But you don't just do that when you're networking in person. How else do you show your passions because we're all online right now? How are you showing people who you are?
I definitely utilize the social media for sure. And I try my best to make it, what's the better way to put it? Like maximum effort, or I'm sorry, minimum effort, maximum reach.
Yeah.
In other words, for example, if I'm going to post my stories, I make sure it's connected to Facebook so I don't have to do it twice. That kind of thing.
Right.
Or I'll utilize tools to like automatically post in places where I can set aside an hour once a month to kind of schedule out and post for the month. And then that way I know that something is going to be shared daily. And then if my spontaneous personality wants to like randomly share something about myself and stick little things in between, then it doesn't necessarily mess up the flow. The more you learn about social media, the more you hear it like, oh, you need to have it make it look perfect and all this garbage. And then it doesn't really like feel authentically you. So I do agree that you should plan it out and utilize all of the things. But when you plan it out far enough in advance, then you can push in random parts of yourself that get you out there. So probably the most I use is social media for sure.
Yeah, you're really good at it. You're very consistent and it shows your personality in everything you do, which I think that's something that I think a lot of people are afraid to show who they really are. Like they think about things that are holding them back or that they struggle. I'm afraid to do a live video. But the more you can get out there and tell people, I'm scared to death to go do a live video. I don't know how. I'm afraid of what people are going to think of me. Talk about that. Be authentic, right?
Yeah. My first point is get over yourself.
Yeah. Because if you have a business, no matter what that business is, and you want your business to continue to grow, you can't take things personally. I know somebody taped a Q-tip to their computer screen. I was in a training once and they gave us each a toothpick, or not a toothpick, a Q-tip. quit taking it personally and just, it's like, just get out there and do it, right? Get out there and do it and be you, because you, when you're authentic to who you are, you will attract the right people to you, or other people can refer the right person to you that says, oh my gosh, you've got to meet Angela because you guys are like, you're going to connect. I mean, that's what you want, right? When you're networking, you want people to know who you are as fast as possible. So I loved your bio, your intro, because you have worked on your 30-second intro. In most networking, you get 30 to maybe 60 seconds to say who you are, but it doesn't have to be just, this is my business, right?
Right.
I love how you tell people what you get to do and that you're excited about it.
Yeah, that's actually something I had a thought, maybe I should elaborate on that. But like, let's say you're not cray like me and you don't have 10 billion things that you do, but I'm sure you have hobbies and I'm sure you have interests. And I'm sure that probably your main goal to network is to probably expand and grow your, like, for selfish reasons, your business. You want more money or something, right? But when you are doing your spiel, I call it a spiel, bio or elevator pitch,
whatever.
When you're doing your spiel, I do find that when I share all of the other things I'm involved with and or do and have interests in, that's how I actually am attracting people who want to connect with me. So when I go to these meetings or when I meet new people and they ask me, what do? I do tell them that I am a Senegence distributor and I do want them to buy all my things. But sometimes, maybe they're not a makeup person, or maybe they know someone else who's a makeup person and they already have in their head, oh, I won't ever use her makeup. But if I mention that I am a ballet teacher, then they might have like a memory, oh, I used to do ballet and talk to me about ballet. Or you have bulldogs, oh, I've always wanted a bulldog, talk more about them or whatever. So if I'm mentioning other things that may not be the reason why I was intentionally there, that ends up being how we connect. And then eventually, once you've grown that relationship, you become friends first, then they're going to ask you and want to know more about your business. So
oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah, it doesn't become as like, I'm sure originally such a selfish reasons why you went there. Now you're like truly connecting for, I guess non-selfish reasons. And it kind of goes to the same, on social media, they call it attraction marketing. So, for example, instead of posting about your business on social, you would share something about yourself. And that goes the same as when you are networking, is you share something about yourself so that they're attracted to you first, because they have to buy from those who they know, like, and trust. And then trickle in parts of what you actually want them to know, like, and trust, if that makes sense. And yeah, I accidentally found that worked. Even though I did those trainings and I learned it and I knew it, that like almost all of my connects end up being because they want to know more about my ballet, or what, you're into cannabis? We need to meet so you can tell me more. And I'm like, that's more my husband, but I mentioned it anyways, and now we're talking.
Yeah.
Something else.
And I think that's key, because nobody goes to a networking meeting wanting to be sold to, right? But they want to know who you are. What do you do? What's the transformation you offer to people? What, and the things about you that can create a connection. Right. And then it's not immediate, like, we're going to be best friends today. And sometimes that happens. Mm-hmm. But then taking that connection, that little bit that they went, oh, I used to teach ballet, or, oh, I used to do ballet when I was 3 years old. Mm-hmm. I never did. But taking that, I was a dance mom, so that's kind of how we connected. Mm-hmm. And then taking that relationship off of that, to carry it further. So what is your process for when you meet someone, you want to create a connection? What is your process for that?
So first I actually have this is one of the ways that makes my life easier, is I have a way for them to book with me. So I have my calendar online, and, that is probably my first step, where I capture their info. They say that, customer information is gold, is worth more than, being friends with them on social, like having actual contact information. So that's one of the ways I capture that. Once I book with them, really my very first intention and process is to learn more about them and get them to learn more about me. Find some way to connect, and then hopefully take it beyond that. But once I am in the meeting with them, I definitely invite them to follow me on social, because then after that, it's now probably the top of my funnel. First, be friends with me, and then now follow me, and then you can go into my group. I have a, I call it my customer VIP group, but most of the times when I share it with new people, I'll say, hey, I have actually a private group on Facebook. Since you asked me about my colors, if you want to see more colors, I have albums in there. And plus I do a lot of live videos. So if you ever want to learn a little thing about makeup, I can be your private YouTube guru, except on a private group. You know, a lot of people actually guilty pleasure like watching makeup videos on YouTube. And those girls who are on there, and guys who are on there, who are like now social gods, apparently, like everybody follows them, they're like celebrities. That's so I won't be like them kind of a feeling, because they're so up there. And then here I am. So then I'll say, like, I'll be your private, you know, makeup tutorial chick, and they totally love that. And so find some, I guess that could be called a niche, but find something to invite them to and put them in the top of your funnel. So I have not said buy anything from me. I said, if you want to check things out, you can go in here. If you want to learn more things, you can go in here. It's a private place where I have other girls who feel like they don't know how to do their eyebrows either. And I have a video on there that you can go watch, and I teach you how to do your brows. It's super easy, blah, blah, blah. It's not being sold to, it's just being inviting. And the more they're in there, the more that they connect with other people who've already connected with me, and they are part of that community, then they eventually buy. Then they eventually start referring their own friends, and it just snowballs from there. So, yeah.
And it all starts with connecting, right? Just connecting. You didn't say buy me. You said connect with me. And hey, I'd love to offer some help for you or service. And it's not about I'm going to a meeting, I'm going to hand out all my cards and collect a bunch of cards and start spamming everybody with information. Right? It's totally a different look than that. And I think when people do that, they just aren't educated enough about how to create a relationship. They're not trusting their own personality, right? They're nervous. Like you said, quit taking it personally. Just be you will attract the right person to you. Depending on what your business is, it really doesn't matter, because they're buying from people, not from businesses. So I think that's really the key to it all, is be comfortable, be yourself, and then have a system that you can follow up with them. Whether it is, I'm going to call them a couple days later and schedule a Zoom one-on-one just to chat. And then from there, you can take it further depending on what they need. Maybe you met someone that you could refer to them, and you know immediately, oh, she'd be good for that. I need to connect. So it's a long-term thing. It's not that immediate, I'm going to be in a networking meeting and immediately have like 20 new customers.
Yeah.
Maybe, but.
Yeah, totally. I networked with so I dropped in on a chapter meeting that was not local and mentioned that I was in, or that I owned a cannabis brand, and she doesn't do cannabis, she does CBD. And so she wasn't interested in intelligence and wanted to learn more about how I got into, I guess, the industry. So we connected. And, you know, I got into it, and we just kind of talked about that. And I, you know, I have to be honest, I kind of pushed it aside. I didn't really follow up with her after that. My bad. But I did still invite her to my group, like how I always do. So I think that was like beginning of COVID time, maybe even further. No, beginning of COVID time when everything was on Zoom. Now she sends me people all the time. Now she buys like almost everything. Now she wants to be in all like Facebook parties. You know, she's in the texting service where she gets my updates on new products, and she's totally like interested in my stories. She comments on all my stories. The person that I kind of, to be honest, tossed to the side thinking, oh, she just wants to know about this other business that I do, not really about the business that I'm networking with attention to share, ended up being one of my like biggest cheerleaders. So you never know.
See, I think that's the key. It's about the connection that you create, and they get to know you and your personality, what you like, what you don't like, how you are. That's there. Then they're like, oh my gosh, you need to go follow her because she's amazing. And I mean, does not make you feel great when you can, somebody tells you about something, you're like, okay, that's not personally for me, but I know the perfect person who would love that information. And when you can then give back to people that you're meeting, that they may not, they like that. You said she's never going to probably buy from me, but how many people has she referred to you? How many things is she now connected to because she trusts you now? She knows you, she likes you, and she trusts you. And so it doesn't always start with a sale. So I love that. And you have done such an amazing job with really creating a sense of community with those that you do meet. When you do connect with someone, they're involved, they're invited to follow you and join you in other places to get to know you better. And eventually that relationship is solid, and they'll either be your person or not. And they may refer people or not, but it doesn't matter. You're out there and you're meeting people. The first step, though, is getting over yourself. Just go meet people. If you like to garden, start joining gardening clubs.
Yeah, and talk about gardening, not your business.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's key. And once you meet people that have similar interests to you, like you said, your ideal customer secret, it's usually just like you. So I love that. That's awesome. Angela, thank you so much. I really appreciate that you are, I love what you're doing in your Senegens business, but I also love how you are a businesswoman, and you study, you Google, you like search how to do certain things, and you just take it on and you go. You have big goals and you're going for it. And you're an amazing businesswoman, an entrepreneur in all senses of the word, because with all your different businesses, you've created each business, but you also tie it together with your own personality. And I love that.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I really do appreciate it. And your business, if people want to follow you, is
Forever Glam Kisses with the number 4 by Angela. So you can find me on all of the things: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, even Snapchat.
Awesome.
And TikTok. That's my newest favorite one.
Great places to connect and get to know Angela as well. So awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you all have a great day. If you have questions for Angela or for me, Business by Design Online, please post them in the comments. We will check into them. Also, we have our official launch. We have been in business for 1 year, and our courses are online now. We're continuing to add new courses. Right now, if you want some help with networking and you want to know your ideal profile, what is the best networking situation for you? You do have a networking profile, so we've got that to help you. If you're just needing some guidance in how to get going in your networking, what's the best place? What's the best way? We want to help you with that. Hang on here. I was just going to check. Also, you mentioned like your return on investment in the work you do to make it easier, right? You do it in multiple places at once. With networking too, you want to know, okay, how much did it cost me to join this networking group, and how many connections am I making, right? If it's not the right group, cut your losses and figure out the right place. So I think that's important too. And then also,
I made that mistake my first year in Polka Dot. I told myself that it would be better to just only go to one chapter because I wanted to build those relationships strong, which I did do. But then a year later, when I saw that renewal fee, I was like, wow, I totally did not use this to my biggest advantage. And that's why I set that goal. Minimum, I have to meet with 4 new gals from this organization, minimum a month. Sometimes it's more, but sometimes it's less if they don't show up.
I know. So honoring each other's time too, very important.
Yeah.
No matter what that is. I love it. So that's really key. And if you want some help in any of those areas, we have an amazing course that Joy Morales and Brenda Sanchez put together for you. So But first, the grand launch, the official launch. We're having a big treasure hunt, a scavenger hunt. We're giving away over $600 cash and some prizes to anyone who completes the scavenger hunt and then joins us live on Friday, the 29th. So check, comment. We'll get the information out to you. Look for the posts that talk about how to join our group, because that's where the party gets started and the treasure hunt gets started. So we hope you'll join us there. Thank you so much. I'm Katie signing off. Have a great week.
Bye.
Bye.